What if Deku was a villain part 10? We deal with everybody else's aftermath, but we didn't deal with Deku's. Deku, for you, okay, since the USJ happened, that means there's a week, right? And I gotta retcon some just in case I didn't do it in the previous part, which I didn't feel like trying to skim through it to see if I did or didn't do it. But long story short, I'm gonna say Deku did heal up All Might prior to him becoming like what he is now. Maybe a little bit in the earlier years after doing some light research. He probably like found All Might one day, don't ask where he lives, but found him somehow and then injected him with something to restore his power. So he still pertains one for all, and he's also gonna stay in his prime a lot longer, all right? Bear with me here, that needed to be said for what may or may not come up next, okay? So now we have it to where Deku he's not angry because he anticipated, you know, it being a hard fight, but he's readjusting or reactivating his calculation and putting all the stuff in place, and eventually he goes through his surgery. And as I told you prior, but this dude is on some Android Dr. Gero type flow, so he's readjusting his overall fit and readjusting his overall calculation and increasing his power level accordingly, okay? Due to the fact that he was able to fight the Nomu, he has a rough estimate about how strong All Might is, but then if he gives the room for error, he's gonna recalibrate that even further and also increase his overall raw power while also trying to increase his main technique. Due to the fact that he was also able to copy and research or gather data on everything that transpired, he eventually got to the point where he was like, all right, cool beans, we in this bitch, boys, we in this bitch. So after what, maybe a day or two, Deku is fully powered back up, right? He's in this bitch and he's feeling like really amazing, okay? And he's like, oh yeah. So he goes out for a bit and starts training a little bit just to see how strong he is. And this is where Deku makes his debut. Right now it means nothing, but for the future of what may or may not happen, it means the world, okay? So, long story short, Deku's outside and he walks out in an open area and he's like, that's impossible. I made sure to not be tracked because he wants to get like a damn slushie or a fucking Starbucks drink. He wants to get something simple. All for one. So you, Izuku Midoriya, haven't been called by that name in years. Who goes there? And he actually steps back a little bit like, wait, what? How is he here? But he keeps his persona or his bluff up. All for one. Looky. It's bright daylight and you dare step against me as he flares up a little bit of his power. All for one smiles turns into like a smug, not a smug, but like a expression of slight disgust and distaste. You really think you can tangle with me, boy? I need to put you down so my successor, you mean the person you plan to rob their body? All for one actually visibly shocked. Impressive. I don't know how you acquired this information. I haven't told nobody. Well, I've told a few people. Ha! I am Deku. I am the one that's gonna rule. Please, gaining light information like that is simple. After I get enough data on someone, I can easily process it and make many projections. Oh, so it's a quirk, I see. Interesting. I would love to possess such power. Deku starts laughing, reminiscent of Vegeta. A quirk? Bitch, I'm quirkless. As he shoots a ki blast at this nigga. Poof! But he aims the ki blast in such a way to where it won't kill nobody. Boom! Blast gets shot up. Reports of All for One. All Might's out on duty. He doesn't have a time limit, so he's patrolling. He pops in real quick. Deku actually gets blown back by All Might entry because he's not expecting. All for One and All Might starts duking. Deku realizing that he needs to do something about it, which Deku didn't have a mask on, but now he does. He puts his mask on. And then he starts, ejecting everybody and starts teleporting everybody to a different location. He has something reminiscent to his transmission, but instead of using his energy, he's using their energy. But we're not going to minor on this detail. But the main point here is, simply put, he's getting most of the people out of the way. As they begin the fight, it starts being broadcast. Oh, All Might is fighting this unknown assailant, in a black suit. What is going on here? Look, they're going blow for blow. Is this the myth? All for One, or something like that. I feel like some people would know who it is, or some information would have researched somewhere. Okay. As this is happening, Deku's like, this is better than I calculated. Ha ha! He starts releasing his ki and let it explode. Poof! He blasts up. Poof! And as they're throwing hands or whatever, let's just say there's something for All Might to stand on while All for One and Deku are flying. They're all three looking at each other. And All Might, it's like, wait, is this the kid? Is this the, I don't know how to do All Might. I don't know how to do his voice. I tried to, nope, I can't find it. But basically, All Might's like, wait, is this the kid that Bakugo and Uraraka was telling me about? All for One's laughing. Oh, do you think you can tango with two gods? Please, I'm a god slayer. Ha! Poof! He looks at All Might, kicks him. Poof! Dashes towards All for One, teleports behind him. Boo boo! And everyone's like, wait, there's a kid and he plans to fight All for One and All Might. We'll just say he's known, because I feel like some people would know about him. Anyways. So they all start duking it out. It's a free-for-all, nigga. Call of Duty flow, nigga. They start throwing quality smoke, bro. And this becomes like this epic clash, because there's times that All for One is jumping up with Deku, vice versa, All Might, and like everyone's getting beat on. Boo, 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 boo. Deku does get knocked back a lot during this fight. Oh, this is tough. If I was going to extend this part and make side parts, I would make a not really, because I don't like the idea, but there's times that All Might's like, please help me take down this threat. All for One, help me take out my most threatened, my most annoying opponent, and we can rule the world together. Deku declines both of these offers. He said, please, by the end of this life, no, it'd be some shit like, in a few years' time, if not sooner, I'll be the one that rules this society. Pooh. Everybody's throwing hands. Good hands. Boo, 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 boom. Deku's fighting both these niggas at the same time. Boo, boo, boo. He's not keeping up in the sense of like where he could beat up on these niggas, right? But he's keeping up just enough to where he's able to throw hands with them, if that makes sense. But when they both start realizing that he's the threat, he's an issue, they start jumping this nigga. Boo, 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 boo. And all for One's making a smart remark, to think my most hated opponent, or my most like adversary or something, would be an ally one day. I guess the saying a friend of an enemy of an enemy is your friend is wrong. It's your enemy that's your friend. All Might's like, shut up, please. And then All Might, it's like, he's just a kid. I don't know. The way you were punching, I think you would think he's an adversary. Deku pulls up on both of them and continues to fight. Everyone's throwing quality hands. Boo, boo, boo. Hoo, hoo. This fight started getting intense because both of them are just like, all right, he's a threat for real, because he was going for killing blows, which he really wasn't. He was just desperate and started going for some shit. But they perceived that as killing blows, so they really just start jumping this nigga. So Deku was getting his shit rocked. But he's staying in the fight long enough, and you keep hearing him say these Kaioshin or Kaioken or something like that. And he keeps it, and you see like this red aura emerge. He, boom, like, boo, 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 boo. Okay, I might have miscalculated a little bit. As like both of these like powerful figures are standing against Deku. Okay, fuck it though. He lets his power roar. He's like, this is my debut. This is the day that'll mark poof in history. he starts changing his stances, gathering all the energy around him, and start throwing good hits. This now goes back to a free-for-all because he increased his power just enough, or got, you know, just enough. And so it goes back to a free-for-all where everyone's just fighting for themselves, and like a lot of destruction's happening, and Deku's throwing a lot of blasts, All Might throwing a hell of Texas Smash. This is an All Might that's at full power, not like he was in canon, right? So with that being said, there's a lot more destruction, there's a lot more pain, there's a lot more shit going down. Like this shit's like a like 2 titans fighting, and then you got a 3rd titan that's on the upcoming. And so just a lot of shit is happening. Everybody starts getting like dummy tired. But they all still fighting because they all have strong ass wills, right? So they keep fighting, boom, boom. And eventually, you know how I said they kept going back and forth on who fight who? Eventually they both start hitting on Deku, because they were going for each other. Then like it's like not really spoken rule, they're just doing it. So they both start fighting Deku. Deku takes this, flips, whoop, readjusts, and meanwhile, really far away, you hear very faint noises of explosions, and you hear a really fast flying noise. And then voila. Anyways, with that side thing out of the way, Deku starts getting dogged on worse and worse. Deku eventually sends a transmission to one of his twice communities, and then they all report to it. Meanwhile, Deku is in the between of both of these dudes. He shoots like multiple ki blasts, and then he shoots like one really strong one as he's screaming to the top of his lungs. And then he sends them back, and he's like, All for One stands up with his, you know, suit damaged. All Might gets up with his suit damaged. Okay. Well, we take him out, it's back to me and you. Poof. It's not even the fact that All Might wants to fight him, but he realizes this kid's like, you know, strong as fuck, okay? He can't hold any punches. And then boom, Deku just starts getting dogged on something devious also. No, let him get up. But the difference is they don't let this nigga get up, bro. They start beating on this nigga. Boom. It's like a hot potato, but with their fist in their legs, nigga. All for One just using all these quirks this nigga had, bro. He been, I want to use this one too. Oh, can't forget about this one. Oh, let me hit him with one of these. Like, these niggas hitting this devious team combo on this nigga on some Brawlhalla type shit, my boy. Anyways, after that shit happened, these niggas basically just keep dogging on your boy, right? He's standing strong, but he's like, damn, I miscalculated. His mask starts to crack some more, and he sees where the cameras are at, and he realizes he can't hide from them no longer. And then at that moment, and Deku's like sitting there sobbing like, damn, I really miscalculated. He's not really crying. He's just like, I miscalculated and shit, right? So he takes that stance, he looks at the camera and realizes this is the end. As his mask slowly cracks, but he's like, I'm not going out like no bitch. Arc. And he projects out a mass amount of ki, aiming it at both of them. And a whole bunch of tiny ki balls start to form around All for One and All Might, and then he starts shooting. But they're strong enough to where they keep pushing, but the bombs keep exploding, and the tiny ki droplets just and they're both by Deku, and he's like, well, time to do this move I've been training for. Here I go. He takes his stance, and then he realizes that the earth around him got blown up too as they kept getting closer. He missteps, and at that moment, Deku knew he was dead. He said, damn, I really fucked up. Well, this match will go down in history, but not in the good kind. But in that moment, I mean that nanosecond that, you know, they was about to get hit, a speeding bullet with 2 people. One gets tossed up in the air a little bit higher and all you hear is release. Another one's going at fucking incredible speeds, and as he's passing by, you see him turn around and move his gauntlet a weird way and shoots back all for one. Pooh! All you hear is, die, villain! Boo! As he turns around, he grabs Deku as Deku is slipping but not losing consciousness completely. And then you also have All Might and a girl, petite, round face, says, sorry about this, All Might. Touches All Might and then says, levitation. Shoom! All Might goes, fuck it. Basically, we can say he goes the opposite direction, or he goes the up in opposite direction. It doesn't really matter, but they both get scattered. And I mean scattered dummy far, okay? And then as this is all happening, this all happened insanely fucking quick, okay? So as that happened, right, Deku gets grabbed by Bakugo, and Bakugo grabs Uraraka with the other arm, and then they keep basically going off because Uraraka now is in control of the flying because Bakugo's using way too many explosions. He was already using way too much as it is, but now he was using way too much explosions, and they eventually fly off to like an area, but they did it at such high speeds that most of the cameras can't see. And also, since the explosion was so big, it had a big dust particle, and then they flew off. They eventually touch down in like a desolate area or whatever, and Bakugo's on the ground a little bit sobbing. He's, fuck, that hurt. Whew. Uraraka's not feeling too nauseous because she eventually been and overcompensated for that weakness. But she is feeling a little queasy, but nothing too fancy. And then as Deku stands, as his mask begins to fully break, him with blood all over his face. Shit, I miscalculated again. Oh, fuck, okay. I was off. I forgot to pay attention to the ground. Man. As he begins to starts to try to walk away, both Bakugo and Uraraka kicks him back down and puts him against a rock, I guess. Bakugo, well, his legs kind of screws, but he kicks Deku back down while Uraraka says gravity control, and then holds Deku down. He's like, ah, shit. As he begins to look up to them and realizing that it's Bakugo and Uraraka, he's like, ah, shit, it's you bastards. Ah, fuck you. I didn't come to kill me because y'all could have let me die there. Which in retrospect, Deku really wasn't going to die. All that would have happened is he would have missed the move, slipped and faded. Like he would have slipped and fell. They would have actually hit each other, and then they would have knocked out each other while Deku starts beating on their unconscious body and flies away. Or some shit like that. But I digress. And then Uraraka Bakugo was like, we're gonna need some answers. Yeah, start talking, you damn nerd. And that's where I would leave this part off.